So now the question arises, how do you decrypt this thing? So again, there's two ways to solve this. One way is to run the picture in reverse and try and think about what operations we have to do to go backwards. And another way is to do it with equations. So I'll start with the version where I look at the picture. So if I look at the picture, I can also think about the fact that this is one-time pad. So here's the encryption picture. And the encryption picture says, to encrypt, you take the plain text, you XOR it with the one-time pad key, the pad, which is this block cipher output, and you get the ciphertext. So how does one-time pad do decryption? Well, to decrypt in one-time pad, you take the ciphertext, you XOR it with the pad, and you get the original plaintext back. That's how one-time pads work. You take the ciphertext, you XOR it with the pad, you get the original plaintext back. So that's what Bob has to do. When Bob receives some ciphertext, he has to regenerate the pad by running this exact same algorithm up top, and then he XORs it with the ciphertext to get the plaintext. So this is what it looks like in a picture. This is the decryption algorithm. You do the exact same thing to generate the pad, and exact same means you're using block cipher encryption because that's what Alice used. And it's a little bit unintuitive, but that's what you have to do. So you do the exact same thing that Alice did to generate the pad, and then you take your ciphertext, XOR it with the pad, and you get the resulting plaintext. Now this is the thing that's confusing. We have to use the block cipher encryption mode. So in other words, you run the block cipher in the forward direction, not in the reverse direction. And the reason why you're doing that is because the block cipher was only used here to generate random looking bits. So if you want to generate the same random looking bits, you have to run the block cipher in the same direction. And here that direction is encryption. So it's a little bit confusing that these are encryption blocks, but that's required because the block ciphers need to be the same. They need to be run in the same direction to get the same pad, and then you can XOR the ciphertext with the pad. It might take a little bit of staring at to see why encryption is the right answer here, but that's what you're supposed to do. So to summarize, you decrypt by running the same block cipher things that Alice ran, namely encryption with the nonce and the counter, and then you XOR the ciphertext with the block cipher output. And if you wanted to, you could also do this in equations, although I don't seem to have a slide for it. And if you ran the equations and you tried to solve for the plaintext, you would notice that the encryption stays unchanged.